This weekend is the 5th anniversary of Superstorm Sandy. The system killed more than 100 people and resulted in an estimated $65 billion in damage. In tonight's Whatever Happened To segment, we go back to some of the hardest hit areas and see what they look like now. Senior correspondent Rick Leventhal reports tonight from Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
When Superstorm Sandy slammed the Jersey Shore October 29, 2012, it ravaged miles of coastline. The ocean swallowed the beach, swamping neighborhoods that typically didn't flood, leaving vehicles underwater and boats on dry land, cutting some houses right in half. Sandy's unrelenting winds and storm surge destroyed Casino Pier and Seaside Heights, dumping the Jetstar roller coaster in the Atlantic Ocean. 5 years later, the boardwalk and pier have been rebuilt with new thrill rides. But while thousands of houses have been repaired or replaced, construction continues up and down the coast, with the New Jersey Governor's Office reporting roughly 1 in 5 homeowners are still building, and some continue their struggle with insurance claims.
This is the exact footprint of the original house.
Josette and her husband Ed just moved back into their rebuilt home a month ago, 5 years after the bay filled their first floor.
I didn't think it would take 5 years to fully get back into the house, and had I known that, I probably would have left.
The couple had no flood insurance and spent $80,000 fixing up the original structure, then found out it still couldn't be insured. So they raised it and built a new higher house to code with help from a federal grant and another $250,000 out of pocket.
Every time I see a hurricane on the news, my heart goes out to those people. It's horrible. I feel so sad for them, just because they don't know what's ahead of them.
Now it's open.
But her husband, a retired firefighter turned carpenter, calls it a blessing.
I built the house, and I actually think that it's unbelievable where we're at today. I'm happy. The house is beautiful. And for me, it was an opportunity to have what we wanted.
Sandy sparked fires, too, including this massive blaze in Breezy Point, New York. Ironically, a favorite retirement spot for former New York City cops and firefighters. More than 100 houses burned to the ground, and flooding damaged or destroyed hundreds more.
Best 2 months down here are September and October.
Charlie McLaughlin spent summers in Breezy Point for nearly 4 decades and was here the night Sandy roared ashore, escaping to his daughter's house nearby, watching helplessly as his neighborhood burned to the ground.
We must have had about 50 fire trucks coming in here. They were all the way backed up the main road all the way down. They couldn't get in because of the surge. This is the 38 caliber. No.
Oh my God.
That's part of the handle. You can see the trigger mechanism here.
Charlie's 2-inch Colt off-duty revolver was the only thing he could salvage from the rubble. He rebuilt the house, in part because of his 9 kids and 27 grandchildren.
The kids come up, they had a bathing suit on at 7 in the morning, and they went to bed the same way.
The insurance industry says nearly 98% of Sandy-related claims have been paid out, but that means some are still waiting, and far too many never had coverage in the first place.
One of the big issues from Sandy was that there were a lot of people who needed flood insurance who did not have it. Even if you're seen as being in a low-risk area, that doesn't mean no risk.
That's a lesson that folks here learned the hard way, that low risk does not mean no risk. And while the improvements and new construction are impressive, there is still a surprising number of empty lots and boarded up homes serving as grim reminders of just how devastating a storm Sandy was. Brett?
Rick Leventhal in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Rick, thanks.